Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Delaware Camera is your #1 spot for all your camera needs, education, accessories, printing, and more. Located at 2635 Delaware Avenue in Buffalo. Visit cameraspot.com.
Hey, True Believers. Welcome to True Believers Tuesday Tech Talks. Is that it, Will? What is it?
True Believers Tech Talk Tuesday.
True Believer Tech Talk Tuesday. What episode is this, Will? 61st episode. I'm in the middle still? All right, that one. Welcome to our upstairs, as always. Today is the first Tuesday of the month, so we're doing What's in Your Bag, and we have Mr. Pat Cray on. He's going to talk about what's in his bag. A lot of stuff in there, so we're going to talk about that. So as we normally do, housekeeping. Don't mind my voice. It's a little gone, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. So we got classes, as always, online. Tomorrow is Photo 101 again. Photo 101, basic construction, how to do all the basic stuff your camera can do. Looking for a refresher? We have that tomorrow at 6:30. Go to our website, click the class button, and sign up right there. Class is $39, I think. 6:30 tomorrow. It's a great class, interactive. You can ask Joe all the questions you want at the f-stops here. It's a great class, so I highly recommend it. Next week is travel night photography, and then the week after that, travel photography. So if you're interested in those topics as well, we have those coming up as well. Okay. We have some special events coming up. I have Tamron coming to Buffalo on June 16th and 17th. They are coming up because we have a photo day at Hawk Creek, which is in this. I think it's in East Aurora, somewhere in the South Towns. But last year we went there. We had lenses for people, so people taking pictures of the birds. We let them borrow lenses and stuff. So it was a pretty cool day all around. Keep your eye on social media for more information about that. But the day before that, the 17th, is the Hawk Creek Day. The 16th is a demo day here in the store. And we're going to have a class at 6 o'clock that night as well, where we're going to talk basically about wildlife photography, stuff like that. So keep your eyes open for that. And last piece of housekeeping, why my voice sucks. This past weekend, we had a little show at Amy's place. The show featured bands made up of people from Delaware Camera. So my band played, Kenny's band played, and Curtis's band played. If you come in the store, you know who those people are. I yelled a little bit too much, so I have no voice right now. But it was a cool time. A lot of people came out. A lot of people went to Amy's and ate. It was really cool. It's the second show I've ever done. If I do a third one, we'll see. But it was a cool time. So thanks to all the people that came out to the show and took pictures. There were a ton of photographers at the show, one of which is coming on the show in a couple of minutes. So stick around, and we will talk about what's in Pat's bag after the break. Peace. Welcome back from the break. It's Tuesday. It's What's in Your Bag, and who do I have the pleasure of talking to today?
It's Pat Cray, aka Young Painkiller on Instagram.
So it's Tuesday, first Tuesday of the month. It's What's in Your Bag. Let's see this bag you got.
Cool. It's this is the bag. It's a Moment Rugged sling. It's a cool little bag.
Yeah. Wait, before we get into that, what is your main focus and maybe some secondary focuses on pictures that you take?
I kind of like just documenting time. So like pretty much like if I'm in specific situations, I like to just document the time in the eye that I see. So if I'm like shooting street photography, let's say, I shoot it the way that I would see things artistically. Or if I'm shooting an event, it's the same thing. It's just like very like just documenting time the way that I would like to see it done. Same thing with like landscape photography. I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades. I do a lot of all different types of photography.
Cool. So let's see the bag.
All right.
Let's see what you got.
All right, so it's fucked in here.
It's it out, Will.
Sorry, it's quite wild in here. But this is my daily camera. It's a Sony A7 Mark IV. Yeah,
Okay.
Mark IV. It's dirty because I'm out here in these streets. But yeah, it's got a 24mm 1.4 on here right now.
Sony brand.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, good old G Master guy.
Nice,
and
nice.
then I have the old and trusted 85mm 1.4 Rokinon that
Nice.
has seen the works, seen a lot.
Is that autofocus?
Yeah, it is
Okay.
autofocus. This is the first generation one. So this is one before I had the focus switch and all that fun jazz.
Yeah.
And then we'll just do all this number right here. All right, and then I have my film camera, my medium format. It's a young Yoshika Matte. Yeah, and then I have the iPad.
The iPad. This is the first iPad we've had, I think, Will.
And then
Mobile editing.
a Ricoh GR3.
Oh, that's the camera I'm jealous of.
A nice little SD card to USB 3, AirPod Pros, extra roll of film for the young Yoshika, mad batteries because battery life is real.
Nice.
So that got some AA batteries in here for whenever I do have my flash on me. It's very rare that I use flash, but I have a lot of AA batteries in here. Ricoh batteries, because the Ricoh does have really horrible life in it.
It takes regular batteries, though, right?
Yeah,
Ricoh,
yeah. And then I have nice little cleaning setup just in case things get a little bit too messy. And then, I have a mask in here just in case. You never know.
I think this is the neatest layout we've ever had, Will.
And
Like,
then
we had Stephen Gabbard just throwing stuff out, dropping stuff.
I have a
T.O.
lot.
David dropping stuff, juggling.
I have a base plate and another back for a lens and camera.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have a 15. Oh, I have a 15mm crescent wrench for whenever I'm riding bikes and stuff like that. I could I ride a fixed gear, so pretty much I could take everything apart with this one.
Cool.
Another cleaning cloth because you never have too many. This one's kind of dirty actually. I think this is the dirty. And then I have like a whole bunch of weird stuff in here, like that is like
what? Any sandwiches in there?
no, but I do. So I have a pin
Yeah.
from Nowhere Lounge.
Yeah.
And then I also I was taking pictures I was like citing for wedding photos at the Basilica, and then the dude gave me this, and I was just like, all right, well, so it's a weird little Basilica charm. I don't know. I haven't taken it out. I'm weird.
I think it's protection for you.
It honestly is. And then a crap ton of cool little hex keys just in case somebody needs one, or if I need one or something like that. But yeah, this bag's cool. I like this bag a lot. It's like been the only bag that I've used since I started photography 2 years ago, and it's been a trusty thing. I just like having everything just in one. It looks kind of crazy, but like it's also kind of got its own place.
So what got you starting photography? Like, when did you decide I want to do some photos and buy some serious gear?
So pandemic kind of hit, and I was doing a lot of walking around, taking pictures like on my cell phone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then people started liking the photos.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, I guess it's time for me to
Yeah.
start doing stuff. So I got booked for a gig. I was taking photos actually on this exact cell phone. I had like the little moment lens system on it. There's like the little bracket. So I got booked for an event to shoot an event.
Yeah.
And then some lady yelled at me and told me that I should not be taking pictures of the event, and who was I? And I was like, I'm the photographer. And she was like, where's your camera? And I was like, I'm a mobile photographer. And she was like, I could do that too. And then she decided to proceed to take pictures on her cell phone in front of me. Like literally, like I was set up for a shot, and then she would just get in front of me.
Who is this lady?
I don't know, but she lit a fire underneath me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I made the jump, and ever since then I've been just going.
Nice, very cool. So you're kind of like doing this for real, like this is your main thing right now?
Yeah, so yeah, this is full time for me,
Yeah.
nonstop. I just recently like left my day job, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this predominantly for like the past like 3 months. 3 months, I've been somehow able to survive off of
Yeah.
off of taking
Somehow.
pictures.
You got good stuff.
Yeah, I don't market myself the way that I should. I feel as though, but
If you're good though, I mean, if you don't market yourself, you always have that option to expand and do that stuff, which is always a good option to have, rather than like doing all the marketing and getting nothing. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, it's very true.
So you're doing good stuff. Where do you see photography taking you? Like how far? Like what are you gonna do with it? What do you think you're gonna do with it? Like where do you see yourself in 5 years of photography?
My 5-year plan is to like, in a sense, and I tell this to people here and there, but my 5-year plan is to open up my own space and like so I could teach kids. But I do like want to like get a little bit more experience with street work and photojournalism and photo documentation of like spaces other than Buffalo. As much as I love our city, but I would like to capture images of other spaces also and tell like in a sense my eye of what like a space could be like and what a city could be, and like showing the beauty of like what most people would just like pass by and just be like, oh, that's just that.
Yeah, have you ever like delved into video at all?
I do video here and there. I try and like stick strictly to photography because photos just it's a dying thing now, and with everybody switching to video and reels and TikToks and everything like that, I think that a purist of like a photographer should always like stick with the one thing, and also you should always like you should never overtake too much. I feel like if I'm a photographer and a videographer, I go to an event, what am I gonna do?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like you're not gonna be able to capture the event in the way that you would want as either.
Yeah,
You're gonna it'll be a mismatch. It'll be a mismatch of just weirdness.
Definitely.
So yeah, I'm like strictly. I make like little IG reels here and there just because the algorithm likes it. But I'm strictly photo.
So why'd you go with Sony?
I went Sony honestly because like it was just it was the industry was telling me that it was the industry standard, and kind of like knew a little bit about I knew a little bit about cameras before. I knew that like the mirrorless systems inside of them were like kind of like not superior, but like they were like the top of the line at the time. So I bought before I had the A7 IV, I had an A7 II, and I just got used to it, and I think I just like have stuck with it since. Like I do kind of want to make the switch to something else at some point, but I'm already invested into this system. So
I was I shoot Canon and producer Will does Sony, but I will say Sony kind of changed the game with like mirrorless and stuff. Like they were the first ones to kind of mass market a mirrorless camera and make the change, and like everyone's got a mirrorless camera now, and so we've got Sony to kind of thank for that. So I will give them that, producer Will.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I think that like every camera like they're suited for their own needs. You know, like for me, like it just makes sense for me to have it just because like. For instance, like the image capture or whatever the heck, the capture one or whatever the heck the thing is for capturing images like remotely, like with this, like it works like very well. Like so, if I'm shooting like headshots for somebody, I just set my iPad up and I just have like a monitor, like a wireless monitor that's tethering directly into that.
That's cool.
With like no issues, like no
cool.
real issues at all. Like I'm like the truest form of like a mobile on the go dude, like with photography.
So tell me about that other camera, the Ricoh.
All right, so I just picked this guy up probably like I want to say 2 months ago. I am in love with this little thing.
Yeah.
Like honestly, don't really shoot that much with this unless like I'm doing like gigs. But like this is a day-to-day, like everyday little street camera that like it does all the things I need to do. It's APS-C sensor. This is the Ricoh GR3X, so it's a 40 millimeter equivalent set focal length. There's no zooms, there's none of that. It's just, it does all the things that it needs to do. You could set color profiles and stuff like that, and like things that you want inside of it. It shoots video. They say don't do it, but I probably won't do it because I still don't even know how to use the video function on it. I shot video on it and I don't know where the video went. It's somewhere on the camera. But it's cool. It fits like directly inside of a shirt pocket, and I can be out on the streets and just be, and nice. It does the job.
Nice, very cool. All right, so you got any questions, producer Will? You good?
Would you prefer natural light photography or strobe photography?
I like natural light. Strobes are cool though. Like it's a whole nother it's a whole nother area of photography, and strobes are cool. The work that I do, it doesn't really call for it. And I also I don't know. Everybody says that I had a whole conversation with another photographer just recently about oh yeah, you need a flash for this event. I was like, dude, I shoot events with literally next to no light. With no issues.
I'm afraid to do that. I feel like I could shoot a wedding reception without a flash if there's enough light, but I feel like I don't want to take that jump. So, because the way ISOs are now, you can shoot in pretty low light and get pretty good stuff. So.
Yeah, especially with fast lenses.
Definitely.
This is it's a 1.4. This is a 1.4 also.
Yeah.
And with the denoising or whatever the heck it does inside of this, it's honestly I've never really needed it. I really never needed it, and I know as long as you know about shutter speed and your focal length and stuff like that, you should be fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Just make sure for instance, this is a 24 millimeter. So we all know the trick of okay, don't go lower than 1/24 of a second if there's absolute no movement. But in the same thing with the 85. But you just, I don't know, I find cool little ways to finagle and finesse the system, and then also with lighting, because I started off shooting a lot of my claim to fame is night photography. So a lot of people know me from the early days of me posting the streets at night with the harsh orange and teals, the darkest days.
So you're saying if someone knows what they're doing, they can be a good photographer. So know what you're doing first.
Yeah. Just learn, honestly, and I always tell people flat out, even before you go into strobe photography, I tell people learn about natural light and learn about how the lighting works on a subject matter. Because that's what I equate, if I ever do, whenever I do strobe photography, I'll be all right, cool. I can emulate the sun or the moon the way that I want it to. And yeah, I think it's fun to do it more with and it's less of a hassle. And I'm also lazy and I don't like carrying a lot of things.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So thank you for coming on. If someone wants to get a hold of you, what is the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Right now it's just Instagram. Maybe my Twitter. Yeah. Oh, it's right there. Yeah, my Instagram, and then inside of there, you could probably go into the link in bio. I think my email is attached inside of there, but then also Twitter is another good way. Also, Twitter gets better photos than the Instagram does.
Like a true artist. I think my stuff is on there somewhere. Didn't really think about that. It's it's on there.
I set it up 6 months ago. I haven't looked back at it.
There you go. All right. Thank you again for coming on and telling us what's in your bag. That was awesome. Very neat. We will see you all next week, and we will have another episode of True Believers Tech Talks with Vicente. Peace.
Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Delaware Camera is your #1 spot for all your camera needs: education, accessories, printing, and more. Located at 2635 Delaware Avenue in Buffalo. .com.